Here's 5 action-adventure themed shows you may have missed or forgotten about. Acapulco Heat. The best way to describe Acapulco Heat is, what if Andy Sidaris made a TV series? It's essentially the Lethal Ladies planned it into a weekly show. They even have an acronym, HEAT, Hemisphere Emergency Action Team. Oh, and Fabio.
Fabio.
Developed by Max Keller. Oh no! Okay, not that Max Keller. Thankfully. This is a group of very attractive, super secret government agents who are part of a counterterrorism unit that poses as models. They're led by a former MI6 operative, Ashley Hunter Coddington, played by Catherine Oxenberg, and former CIA agent Mike Savage, played by Brendan Kelly. They take orders from Mr. Smith, played by John Vernon, so it even has a little bit of a Charlie's Angels vibe. The show premiered on September 25th, 1993. Taking another cue from Sidaris, one of the leads, Kat, was played by Allison Armitage, who was the Playboy Playmate of October 1990 under the name Brittany York. The show also had Holly Floria as Chrissy, the computer expert, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because right before this, Holly starred in Bikini Island, the horror movie where the killer is on an island wasting models by using a plunger. I love this terrible movie. The series was one of the many syndicated shows from that era, most likely sold as Baywatch with explosions. The show ran until 1994 when it went on hiatus and then returned for season 2 in 1998. Only now they had a much smaller budget and a much smaller cast. Only 2 of the original cast members returned, Allison Armitage and Michael Worth. Each episode was about what you would expect. Something bad happens, the team finds out about it, and goes somewhere to be sexy and eventually take down the terrorists. It's a fun series that didn't take itself too seriously. The second season had a smaller budget, but it still ran longer with 26 episodes as opposed to season 1 with 22. For some reason, the episodes were aired out of order, but considering there wasn't really a huge overarching story, most people didn't notice. The show was canceled and the last episode aired on June 5th, 1999. It did remain in rotation for years afterwards, though. The series was released on DVD, but it's now out of print. Someone uploaded the entire series to YouTube, but the quality varies from episode to episode. Relic Hunter. Relic Hunter is unabashedly Tomb Raider with Tia Carrere. That's not a bad thing at all. Carrere plays Sidney Fox, a professor who travels around the world and hunts relics. In Tomb Raider, Lara keeps what she finds, while Fox either donates the relics to a museum or gives them to the descendants of the original owner. She's also fighting rivals who are trying to find the relics for their own personal gain. The series premiered on September 20th, 1999. This was a Canadian-produced show that was syndicated all over the world. It was shot mostly in Toronto. It's a goofy show that has fun with the premise and occasionally gets serious. It has a tone similar to earlier seasons of Xena Warrior Princess. They definitely played off the sex appeal of the character, with Carrere peeling off her shirt in the opening of every episode. There's some bad CG, but that was in most syndicated shows from the time. The show also stars Lindy Booth as Sydney's somewhat ditzy assistant, Claudia, although she left after season 2. The series did fairly well and ran for 3 seasons with 66 episodes. The last episode aired on May 20th, 2002. The DVDs are out of print, but you can easily watch the show now on numerous streaming platforms, from Tubi to Freevee. Thunder in Paradise. While other shows were trying to imitate Baywatch, along comes a show that was made by the creators of Baywatch. Thunder in Paradise originally started as a direct-to-video movie called Thunder in Paradise, which was released on September 22nd, 1993. The creators decided to expand the idea into a series, and thus, Thunder in Paradise, the TV series, was born. Thunder in Paradise is about 2 former Navy SEALs, Hurricane and Brew, played by Hulk Hogan and Chris Lemon, who are now mercenaries working out of their headquarters in the Gulf of Florida. The guys are helped by ex-model Kelly LaRue, played by model-turned-actress Carol Alt. They travel all over, usually in tropical places, fighting crime and getting tan. The show also heavily features the Thunder in Paradise speedboat, which is essentially Night Boat, complete with its own voice actor.
We now return to Night Boat, the crime-solving boat.
The series premiered on March 25th, 1994. They used the movie as the pilot for the show. The show also had plenty of cameos from wrestlers like Sting. The series ran for 22 episodes, with the last one airing on November 27th, 1994. The show had some of their two-parter episodes combined to make movies that they could release direct-to-video, which is how we got Thunder in Paradise 2 and Thunder in Paradise 3. They also took the series finale, The Major and the Minors Parts 1 and 2, along with some additional footage to make a Thunder in Paradise game for the Philips CDI. There was another game that was made for the Super NES and Genesis, but was never officially released. Tales of the Gold Monkey. Even though the show came out a year after Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it has a similar look and feel, the creator Don Belisario swears it was an adaptation of the movie Only Angels Have Wings. I see it as kind of a mix of the two. It's about Jake Cutter, an ex-Flying Tigers fighter pilot in the 1930s. Now that he's out of the military, he runs an air cargo service out of his Grumman Goose plane called the Cutter's Goose. Cutter's a hard-drinking but also hard-loving guy who spends his nights with his girlfriend Sarah, who just happens to be a spy. He gets into all sorts of adventures that have that old pulp-style feel. The show premiered on September 22nd, 1982 on ABC. Cutter was played by a pre-Seventh Heaven Stephen Collins. It also has Roddy McDowall as Bon Chance Louie. The show ran for 22 episodes and was canceled due to low ratings. The last episode aired on June 1st, 1983. The show won a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Art Direction, but that wasn't enough to save it. The series is not available for streaming, but the entire show is on DVD, and thankfully, it's still in print. Riptide. Riptide's a detective series created by the famous duo of Frank Lupo and Stephen J. Cannell. Originally, I wasn't going to list this show because I thought it was too well known, but after talking to two friends who never heard of it, I figured I should mention it. Riptide's about Cody Allen and Nick Ryder, two Vietnam vets that start the Pier 56 Detective Agency in LA. To help with their work, they hire computer expert Murray Basinski, who of course has a robot assistant. In keeping with the name of the show, the team works out of Allen's boat, Riptide. The series premiered on January 3rd, 1984. On NBC. Much like other Lupo Canal shows like The A-Team, Riptide had a formula. The show opened with bad guys committing a crime and ended with a big chase and/or shootout. They aired this right after The A-Team, so it was a double header of action. The series was one of many that was inspired by the success of the movie Blue Thunder. The others were Airwolf, which was the most successful, and, ironically, the Blue Thunder TV series, which was the least successful. Riptide ran for 3 seasons with 58 episodes. The last episode aired on April 22nd, 1986. The series then ran for years on USA. Riptide Season 1 is available on DVD, but 2 and 3 are not. The full series was released in 2008, but it's now out of print. The series is currently streaming on Fubo and Crackle. That's another 5 shows, everybody. That should be more than enough action to keep you busy. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.
Let's see what's inside our little friend.
Yeah.
Must have been a small car, huh?